I was diagnosed with IBS as a teen, but over the years I've still traveled all around the world, from Norway to New Zealand, Australia, all around Europe, the US, Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, China, Japan, Egypt, Myanmar, you name it. And this is part 1 of my How to Survive Travel with IBS series. Because I'm living proof that you can actually travel and be spontaneous, even if you have IBS, you just have to know how. And that's what I'm here to share with you, so let's get started. If you're new here, by the way, I'm Christine Lensberg, health enthusiast turned IBS coach, now working to break the stigmas around all these things that are, well, less than glamorous. So the other day, I overheard the woman next to me on the plane chatting to her husband after ordering 2 bottles of wine, potato chips, and chocolate as her meal. She said, "Maybe this is not a good idea. I have a really upset stomach." No shit, this is definitely not a great idea, and especially not if you have an upset stomach. The decisions we make when traveling can make a huge difference gut-wise and symptom-wise, and traveling can be super challenging when you have IBS or any other chronic condition. Just leaving your home in the first place, being out of your normal schedule, in unfamiliar territory, not having toilets available at all times, maybe not even speaking the local language to ask for what you need, eating things that are non-ideal, having to relate to travel buddies and their wishes and needs in addition to your own, stress of trying to catch planes in time, cabin pressure, so many things. So here's how I recommend preparing for your next travel adventure. Try to sleep as much as you can before traveling and also during your travels. I don't know if you knew this, but lack of sleep can actually cause a lot of gas and stomach issues. And if you're anything like me, maybe you have a tendency to try and fit it all in, all the things before your trip, last minute work deadlines, late night packing, illegally early flight departures, or just a lot of mental stress leading up to the trip and getting everything ready in time. My best advice for this, and I know it's easier said than done, but try to be a little less ambitious and make sure to prioritize your sleep leading up to your trip. It can really make or break your entire holiday. This one is also easier said than done, but try to eat as clean as possible, no processed, low-fat whole foods on your trip. Trigger foods are everywhere when traveling. Burgers, fries, pizza, bread, sodas, potato chips, candy, coffee, everywhere. And I know it's not always going to be possible to make perfect choices, and it's also really tempting to try all of the exciting, exotic, new, delicious things that you can taste when you're traveling. Trying the local cuisine is of course important and something that is, an important part of the trip. But try your best to eat as clean and healthy as possible to limit flares and support your body and overall health during your travels. I also actually really recommend to avoid gluten because even if you're not celiac, gluten can cause bloating, gas, cramps, and diarrhea. And a lot of people with IBS are extra sensitive to gluten or even have non-celiac gluten intolerances. This is something that maybe you can test if you haven't done those tests already, because it's important to know if this is something that you react to so that you can support your body and make sure that you're eating things that are not going to make your symptoms worse. Some studies also suggest that gluten can negatively affect your gut flora. And when traveling, your microbiome is already adapting to new food and water, and gluten may worsen the imbalance in your gut, causing bloating, constipation, and or diarrhea for all of my fellow mixed IBS warriors. Next one, avoid alcohol. Alcohol is very dehydrating and a trigger food for a lot of people with IBS. So try your best to not be tempted by all those in-flight services and tax-free deals. Alcohol is not your friend if you have IBS. I'm so sorry, but it is literally poison for your body. So if you're trying to heal, why would you drink poison? I know we all do it sometimes, myself included. So, absolutely no judgment. But the more you're able to limit or avoid it, the more you will help your body heal as fast as possible. And on that note, stay hydrated. Air travel especially is very dehydrating because of low humidity in the airplane cabins, processed foods or added salt intake, low oxygen levels, and cabin pressure, triggering things like increased fluid loss through your urine, and all that fun stuff. So make sure you're rehydrating and drinking plenty of water. And when I say water, I don't mean tea or other liquids, but pure filtered water. That's really important. And communicate your expectations. If you're traveling with friends or family, make sure that you have a chat before you leave to kind of align your expectations for the trip. Sometimes it can put a lot of pressure on you if a travel buddy expects to, see and do all the things when you need a calmer itinerary for whatever reason. Talking about this before you leave will lower stress and limit chances of added stress during the trip, which will also help keep your nervous system relaxed and calm, and to keep your body in rest and digest mode, so that you can feel good and enjoy your trip. So this is also an important note. Travel smart with medication. If you're traveling with medicines, make sure to bring them in their original containers. Bring a note from your doctor, both in the original language and translated into the local language of whatever country you're traveling to, just to avoid issues in security. You can also pack an IBS toolkit with essentials like tummy tamers, baby wipes, and extra underwear just in case, calming essential oils, a hot water bottle, digestive enzymes, or whatever helps you in a pinch or during a flare-up. And if you want my all-time favorite must-have travel buddy for IBS, comment travel below and I'll send it to you. Also, be prepared for language barriers. If you're traveling to non-English speaking countries, download a translator app or write down any dietary needs that you have on paper. Also, make sure to write down other things you might need to ask for, like where is the nearest toilet? You can also use apps like Flush to find toilets nearby when needed. And on the flight, I always choose an aisle seat just for peace of mind, so I highly recommend you do the same. You can download guided meditations, podcasts, or relaxing music to your phone so you can listen to them on the plane. Listening to things that are calming for your nervous system will also help because it will allow you to not get overwhelmed by travel stress, but rather stay in rest and digest mode, allowing your digestive system to function optimally. You can pre-download from Spotify or YouTube before departure, or use apps like Calm or Headspace. Make sure to also bring your noise-canceling headphones for extra calm and peace during your trip. And finally, do your research. Research restaurants and food stores near where you're staying to make sure there's food for you there when you arrive. Also, there is no shame in packing emergency food solutions just in case. Don't tell anyone, but I actually traveled to Rome last summer with gluten-free pasta in my suitcase. And I know bringing pasta to Italy sounds like treason, but my plan was, if we are going to restaurants where they don't have gluten-free options, I could always whip out a pack of pasta from my bag and ask them to cook it for me so I could eat along with my friends. There's always a way. All right, that's it for now. Stay tuned for part 2 of how to survive travel with IBS, and make sure to hit the notification bell and yada 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 so you don't miss any episodes of Anything But Glamorous. See you in the next one.